Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk. I am your host John, and today here on the channel we're going to be completing the Dollars Trilogy 4K Blu-ray reviews with The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly, the latest 4K from Arrow Video. But before we get into that 4K Blu-ray review, I always like to give a quick film review, and today is no different. So if you don't want to know anything about The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly, and you're just here for that 4K Blu-ray review, you guys can skip ahead to that right now. So back in 1966, Sergio Leone completed his Dollars trilogy with The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly, the follow-ups to A Fistful of Dollars and For a Few Dollars More. This is one of the most iconic Western trilogies of all time. Obviously the best spaghetti Western trilogy of all time, but The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly is in the running for the greatest Western ever made. This movie stars Clint Eastwood yet again for the third time in a row as the man with no name. He also goes by Blondie in this film, and The Good. It also features Lee Van Cleef for the second time. This was the star of For a Few Dollars More. This time he plays Old Angel Eyes, and he's also the bad. And then we bring in Eli Wallach for the first time as the Ugly, or Tuco. And these men are all in a race for some Confederate gold that is buried in a grave in a cemetery, and that's where the race is to. That's where a third act is going to be. One of the most famous third acts in film history is the Mexican standoff between the good, the bad, and the ugly, between these three men. But throughout the film, the journey there is an epic, and this is incredible. If you look at it, you wouldn't believe that A Fistful of Dollars and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly are in the same exact trilogy. I mean, it's such a small film. They even had to make excuses for the town being empty because they just didn't have any money. You know, For a Few Dollars More, that one's kind of increasing the scale, but again, it's still pretty small. And then you get to this movie. This is one of the definitions of what an epic is. It's a sprawling epic with some big shots. I mean, there's war sequences. This movie takes place during the Civil War, and it's incredibly shot. It's unbelievable. It's using the Techniscope widescreen format. We've talked about VistaVision in the past. This is another widescreen format. The reason why they use this one, it's pretty damn cheap. Of course, try to save some money. So even though it looks incredible with these wide shots, they're also able to capture those incredible close-ups on the eyes where you can just see the sweat, just the disgustingness on these guys' faces. That's why I love Sergio Leone's spaghetti westerns, because, you know, the regular American westerns of the time, we've talked about this in the past, but like, you know, the 1940s, 1950s westerns, everybody looks so clean because, you know, they're on sets. They make these guys the white-wearing cowboys, you know, good guy versus bad guy. Everybody in this movie isn't a good guy. Nobody's a good guy. Blondie's not a good guy. Yeah, he's the good, but he's not a great guy. He's operating in the gray area. He might be the best of these three guys, but he's operating within that gray area. You know, but everyone's clothes are all dirty and disgusting. These guys are all sunburnt. That's why I still believe Once Upon a Time in the West is Sergio Leone's best film. I think that's where everything kind of culminated. Everything he had learned making this trilogy and everything he made before it, like that all kind of built up to the climax that is Once Upon a Time in the West. That's his best film. The score is the best. Amir Morrikone's score for this film is obviously iconic. Dun, 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 dun. You knew that before you had ever even seen this film, because again, the Mexican standoff is very famous at the end. The man with no name with the poncho, all of that stuff is very famous, that just carried over into like Nicktoons from when I was growing up. So I knew all about the Mexican standoff at the very end of this film before I had even seen the film. But then when you watch the movie, if you're a Western fan, you're just going to absolutely love it. You're going to love the characters. You're going to love the interactions between these guys, especially between Blondie and Tuco. I love their interactions. Like, you know, it kind of starts out as a friendship between these guys. I love how Tuco is played. It's just, you know, he's kind of, you know, he's very stern and strong, but he's a little bit of a goof. He's a little bit of a doofus, and I kind of like that about him. You know, he's very much his own man. Very different from Angel Eyes, who was very serious and stoic all the time. And, you know, Clint Eastwood's kind of like right in the middle. You can argue that each film in this trilogy concentrates on one character building up to this. The first one, it's just Clint Eastwood, but in the second one, Lee Van Cleef kind of takes center stage, and in this one, you can argue that Eli Wallach takes center stage, again, kind of building up like what this trilogy actually is and building up to that epic conclusion. But the interactions between all the characters throughout this film are fantastic. Lee Van Cleef definitely has the least amount of screen time, but of course, again, he's the quiet one, he's the stoic one. It's all behind his eyes. We're really on the journey between Eli Wallach and Clint Eastwood in this movie, and again, they are actually so funny. Some really big funny moments in this movie. There's some incredible shots in this film that clearly Quentin Tarantino picked up from this film, like just the one when the haze is coming like through the wood, and then when the blood splats, like you still got the dust in the air. oh my god, looks absolutely incredible. He clearly lifted shots from that for Kill Bill, Django Unchained, and definitely The Hateful Eight. And, you know, obviously Quentin Tarantino, huge spaghetti western fan, huge influence on him. They're pretty much influencing him in all his films. It's just much more noticeable when we get to his spaghetti westerns in the later part of his career. You could also clearly see that this had a huge influence on No Country for Old Men when they find all the guys like pretty much dead and one guy's asking for water. Exactly the same as the setup for No Country for Old Men, just showing you the influence of the good, the bad, and the ugly, and why it is considered one of the greatest westerns of all time. Not only is it an enjoyable watch, but it's influenced so many filmmakers to this very day. This is probably Clint Eastwood's most famous role, despite the fact that this is the guy who started Unforgiven, Pale Rider, The Outlaw Josie Wells. I would say because this is the role that made him famous. You know, he was just a working actor before he got involved in the Dollars trilogy. But this is the role where people are like, holy shit, this guy is our next great actor. We really need to take notice of him. And then obviously throughout the 1970s, he became one of the biggest actors in Hollywood. But here, he's just a working actor, and he does a phenomenal job in the lead role. But everybody does a great job in their roles. Again, it's one of the most beautifully shot westerns of all time. Got one of the best stories. It is one of the greatest epics of all time. I can go on and on about how good, the bad, and the ugly is. But is this actually my favorite one in the Dollars trilogy after revisiting all three films? I gotta be honest, after rewatching them all, I think my favorite one right now in 2025 might be For a Few Dollars More. And that might just be because that's the one I've seen the least, and maybe I'm just appreciating it a little bit more now. But I really enjoyed my watch through of that one a lot more than I enjoyed it for A Fistful of Dollars and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Now, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly I have seen a ton of times. This is the one I've definitely seen the most, just because when you're starting to get into westerns, they're like, okay, you got to see The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That's always near the top of the list, and it's good. It's obviously one of the greatest westerns ever. I absolutely love it, but a lot like The Dark Knight, have I burnt myself out of it because I've just seen it so many times and it's such a long film? Well, it could be, but I still think it's one of the greatest westerns ever made. It would make any top 10 westerns ever made. It's just that now, as far as my favorites go, it might have dropped just slightly just because I might have burnt myself out a little bit, but that's not to take anything away from this film. And of course, if you guys enjoy The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, I can recommend it each and every way, but maybe you want to check out this 4K Blu-ray that we're here to talk about as well.
Here with your old friend Angel Eyes.
You filthy double-crossing.
So here it is, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly on 4K Blu-ray from Arrow Video, completing the Dollars trilogy. I just have to show it right here. Hopefully the camera's picking up how they just have this right here so that it look beautiful and uniform on your shelf. I love it. They put the slipcover over the obese box. Just love it. I absolutely love the Arrow Video's design of this and what they did with the Dollars trilogy. Originally, this was supposed to come out in April, May, and June. Obviously, there were some delays, and for A Fistful of Dollars and A Few Dollars More, both came out in May, and then this got delayed until August. And you know what? Completely fine with that. As long as the product is good, I have no problem with them delaying it. We don't want to have an incomplete product where we have to wait for replacement discs. You guys know that's like pulling teeth. We really don't want that to have to happen. So when we pop this off, great artwork underneath. I love, again, how they put the slip sleeve over the entire thing. I think that's great. I just love also that the artwork underneath isn't exactly the same. It is beautiful. Lee Van Cleef on the back. When you come inside, there is some reading material. Again, great paper stock, thick, worth your time. Smells great. You get a movie poster as well. I don't have the space for these posters, so they just stay in the obese boxes. But hey, I'm really glad they do that, and especially for people who do have the space. That's awesome. You get to put that on your wall. Here is the 4K Blu-ray. This artwork is reversible. You can go either way. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I haven't decided. I actually really do like the alternate artwork for this one, so I might keep it, even though it kind of feels a little sacrilege, but I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. When you come inside, this is a 4-disc set, which is absolutely incredible. So you get your regular international cut. That's disc 1. Disc 2, that is going to be the extended cut. Disc 3 is going to be all of your special features. And disc 4 is a documentary. And that documentary is called Sad Hill Unearthed. It's an 86-minute documentary. It's got interviews with everyone you could hope for. It's about the reconstruction of the graveyard set from the very end of the movie. So it's a good documentary. I haven't watched the whole thing, just kind of made sure it worked. That's all of Disc 4. It's got special features for that documentary. Disc 3, all of its special features. I believe, if I'm correct, there is 13 brand new special features, interviews, everything you can imagine, essays. I mean, they went all out. If you are an extra junkie, and you guys have heard me complain about movies not putting any bonus features on the 4K Blu-ray, a lot from Kino Lorber, and even Shout Select has taken this route now with like Time Cop and Ace Ventura. this is what I hope for. Like, this is the mountaintop of extras. Given there's no brand new making of documentary or anything like that where it's like 2 hours, or like, you know, something like The Frighteners or Blade Runner, nothing like that. We don't get that here, and that's to be expected. But everything we did get, like, has so much love and care. Like, just going out and getting brand new special features, no one does that. Arrow Video is one of the only studios keeping that alive now in 2025. Criterion does it, but for the most part, the major loot studios, they'll give you one new feature, and that is it. Like, think of Constantine on 4K Blu-ray. They were able to get the director and Keanu Reeves together for an interview. I think that special feature is like 11 minutes. There is 13 brand new special features on here, and they give you that documentary, and the price is still pretty fair. Like, in comparison, I know I hate doing it because people like get a little bit upset, but just to compare to those Disney, Sony 4K Blu-ray releases that we get here in the United States that come out for $40 with no new extras, and you're just getting a visual and audio upgrade in that sense. You know, it's better than when we get with a lot of these comedies where we just get the visual upgrade. But this is what you're supposed to do, is what Arrow Video did here with The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. And they did it with all of them. They did it with the entire trilogy. They gave you everything. When we upgrade physical media, this is what we're hoping for. We're hoping for a full-blown upgrade to the packaging, to the extras, to the visuals, and to the audio. Now, given these were already released on 4K Blu-ray, so we're already upgrading those as well, because they did have US Kino Lorber 4K Blu-ray releases. These are UK only 4K Blu-ray releases, just to be clear. When we talked about A Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more, these aren't released in the United States. I had these imported over here through the Atomic Movie Store, just because, you know, I wanted to have these on 4K Blu-ray. But Kino Lorber does have the rights in the United States, so that means that the first two discs, they'll play fine. The film itself, whether you want to watch the international version or the extended cut, no problem at all. But you're going to need a region-free player or a workaround to check out the two Blu-rays that are packed in here. So if you want to check out that documentary or the special features, just be aware, if you live in the United States, that's what you're going to have to do. Make sure you have a region-free player, or there are plenty of people who will give you workarounds on how to do that with, like, the Panasonic 820, including my buddy Frank from Frank's Media Reviews. So if you want to know how to do that, check out his channel, check out that video. It'll probably help you out. But I don't want people to get burned, pick this up, and be like, why aren't the Blu-rays not playing? The 4Ks are region-free, but those Blu-rays, they're region B, so you're going to have to check them out that way. And I choose to always check out the international cut, which is also the theatrical cut. The extended cut, not necessarily for me, but clearly a lot of people like the extended cut more, that has more commentary tracks on it. Just not for me personally. I think I like the tighter way of the international cut, the theatrical cut. That's just the way I choose to go. But look at our video, giving us the options. You know, it's not like the international cuts in 4K and then the extended cuts in 1080p Blu-ray. No, both of them are in 4K Blu-ray. Again, something that Arrow Video does that not every other studio does. We've seen it numerous times, like Mallrats in the past, Dark City earlier this year. That's why I truly do believe Arrow Video is the best. And, you know, they're not paying me to say that. I'm not a shill for them or anything like that. I had to buy this full price. It's just that I truly believe that they're giving us everything we could ever want. Like, we get a huge visual upgrade. It looks absolutely stunning. Does it hit Searcher's level of quality? It gets close. Like, I still might give it a 10 out of 10, but I might go 9.5 just because I believe, as far as Westerns go, the best visuals we've ever gotten are with the Searchers. But again, this looks absolutely incredible. It's an epic, a sweeping epic. You know, we get the extreme wide shots, while we also get the extreme close-ups. Everything looks great. The detail on their face, their skin, they look dirty. They look sunburned. All their clothes that they're wearing look disgusting and dirty. Everything looks dirty in this movie. The towns look beautiful. There's a shot like in this like blown out town, like on the corner, and like looking at this White House, and like you can see every detail. I pointed out to my wife, I'm like, that just looks fucking beautiful. And it really did. It looked absolutely stunning with HDR10 and Dolby Vision. So the visuals are incredible. Now the audio, there is a brand new mono track that's like kind of taking the original elements and like basically putting it all back together. They do this for both the international and the extended cut, but there is also a new 5.1 remix version if you guys want to listen to that. Both sound great. Both sound absolutely incredible. I choose to go with the 5.1 just because I like to hear my surround sound bumping, but I think clearly, and the reason why they both start on the mono track, is that's going to be the version that most people want. But again, Arrow Video giving us the option, so if you're somebody who just wants to hear it with the classic mono track with no clicks and pops or anything like that, you got that option. If you want to give your surround sound a little bit of a workout, which it's not something that's going to be really bumping like crazy or anything like that. This is a 1966 film. No matter what you do, you're not going to be able to get something that sounds like a 2025 film. So you got to taper your expectations a little bit on that, but still, it's a very good audio track for this film. They put it all back together. They really like... This is like a true restoration. Like Kino Lorber, everyone kind of pretty much agrees they didn't do the full work. They put some effort in, but nothing like Arrow Video did when it comes to the Dallas trilogy. They put everything they possibly could into these 4K Blu-ray releases, and clearly it all culminates with this 4K Blu-ray release of The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, with a 4-disc set with everything we could have ever hoped for, upgrades to every single thing. The packaging is phenomenal. This is one of the best 4K Blu-ray releases of the year, right up there with their release of Dark City, giving us everything we could have hoped for. If I'm going to give this one a score of 1 to 10, I'm going to give The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly a 10 out of 10. Absolutely one of the best releases of 2025. There's nothing I can complain about this. Just remember, guys, if you don't live in the United Kingdom, you're going to have to import this one, so make sure you have a region-free player. I don't want people to get burned on that. But anyway, that's going to do it here for me on another episode of Let's Talk. If you guys want to check out any of these movies, I can recommend any of the Dallas Trilogy movies on 4K Blu-ray. It's incredible what Arrow Video did with all three. I can recommend them all. If you even want to just cherry pick and you're not really a big fan of the first two and it's just The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, you can just grab that if you like. And either way, all three of them are great 4K Blu-ray releases. So I'm going to get out of here now. I'll be seeing you guys around. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share this video. And guys, if you'd like, we have channel membership. So if you want to become a friend of the channel, a producer for the channel like Harvey Scott, Ben Rondo, and John Doe Juggalo, you could do that. Or you could even become a channel director like Uncle V, Nicholas Head, Frank from Frank's Media and Reviews, Kevin Kruger, and then of course Stone Gasman. Or you can even become a channel bankroll member like Mr. Smelly Potato. I appreciate all my channel members, but of course, guys, if you have no money to throw my way, don't worry about it all. I just hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, get out those streets, tell your friends about us, and then we'll be seeing you around.